Wishing you all a very happy Makar Sankranti and a very happy Pongal. Today we are going to see a few special recipes that you can make for this festival season. So let's get started. To make this sweet Pongal or the Chakra Pongal, I've taken about 1 cup of raw rice measured with a 250 ml cup. Wash it a few times, pour enough water and let it soak. To a nice wide and deep pot, pour about 1.5 liters of water. To this I'm adding half cup of washed Moong Dal. Add it to the pot, mix it well and let this cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. When the Moong Dal is almost 90% cooked, add the soaked raw rice. I'm adding another 1 liter of water to cook the rice. Mix everything well. So you can see the rice is cooked beautifully along with the Moong Dal and it's got this lovely creamy texture. So at this point I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of ghee. Mix it along with the rice and keep it aside. To a pan, add about half cup of ghee. I'm going to roast a few cashew nuts. When the cashew nuts are almost golden in color, add a few raisins. Once the raisins have plumped up, I'm adding about 1 cup of grated koppara, that is the dry coconut. So if you don't have the grated dry coconut, you can also use fresh coconut, but make sure you roast everything well. So the dry coconut is going to give a nice flavor to the pongal. Next I'm adding 1 teaspoon of cardamom powder and about 3 to 4 cloves. Mix everything well. Turn off the stove and keep this aside. To another saucepan, add about 500 grams of jaggery. Pour a little water for the jaggery to dissolve. Mix everything well. Once the jaggery is completely melted and dissolved, add the roasted mixture, that is the cashew nuts, raisins and the dry coconut, into the jaggery and mix everything well. So once you've added all these ingredients, let it cook just for about a minute or so. Turn off the stove and keep it aside. Now place the rice pot back on the stove. Transfer the jaggery mixture into the rice and mix everything well. Make sure it's all well combined. You can see how creamy and delicious the rice looks. Now this is a very simple recipe and it's extremely tasty. You'd get this perfect temple style Chakra Pongal, that is the sweet Pongal that you get in temples, and the flavor is very different from the usual Pongal that we make at home. So you can make it a little more richer by adding another 2 tablespoons of ghee to finish it off. The sweet Pongal or the Chakra Pongal has come together so beautifully. Turn off the stove. So the temple style sweet Pongal or the Chakra Pongal is done and you can enjoy this nice and warm. This is a perfect sweet that you can enjoy and make it for nice special occasions or for special festivals. Just make sure you follow all the steps, do try the recipe and please post your comments in the comment section and let me know how it turned out for you guys. For Medu vada, I've taken 1 cup of urud dal and soaked it for 4 hours. So you can see they've nicely plumped up. Discard the water from the soaked dal. Don't add too much water at a time. Add very little water and grind to a nice fine batter. Basically the batter has to be nice, thick and fluffy. You can see the vada batter is nice and fluffy. Now, how do you know that it's light and fluffy? So this is a small test that you can try. So take a little bit of the batter, take a small bowl of water and just drop the batter into the bowl. So you can see it instantly floats. So that is an indication that the batter is right and it's come to the right consistency. So you can see how thick the batter is. Now I've used roughly about quarter cup of water, little at a time, to grind the urud dal. So make sure you don't add too much of water and grind the batter, because then it can become too watery. So I'm going to refrigerate the batter for about 2 hours. So here is a small tip I would like to share with you. So the reason why I'm refrigerating the batter is because while grinding the batter in the mixer jar, it tends to heat up. So I'd like to cool the batter completely before I start making the vadas. The vada batter has been in the fridge for about 2 hours. So I've taken it out. Now I'm going to season it with half teaspoon of salt. To this add 1 medium sized onion finely chopped. Now you can see I've chopped the onions very fine. 2 green chilies finely chopped. A few curry leaves. Mix everything together. If you don't like onions, you can do the vada without the onions. So some of them also add ginger. So if you want, you can also add small bits of ginger. Take some oil for deep frying. Make sure to maintain the temperature on medium flame throughout. So I'm taking a banana leaf to shape the vada. You can also use your palm. Take a small portion of the batter, dab a little water after you've taken the batter, gently press it down, make a small hole in the center and gently slide the prepared vada into the hot oil. The vada takes time to cook, so make sure you're not in a hurry to cook the vada, because it can change color very quickly if the temperature is very high. Turn the vada at intervals so there's an even color throughout and the vada is cooked through. Once the vadas come to a nice golden brown color, remove them from the oil and serve it hot with some nice coconut chutney. For this recipe, I have taken about a quarter cup of raw rice. The first step is to wash the rice thoroughly about 2 to 3 times. Drain all the water completely. Once done, spread the rice on a plate and allow it to dry naturally. If you are in a hurry, you can also pat it dry with a clean kitchen cloth. Once it has dried completely, transfer the rice to a bowl. The next step is to grind the rice. For this, to the mixer jar, add the dried rice. Use the pulse mode just about 2 to 3 times to grind it into a nice coarse mixture. Be careful here, we don't want it to be a fine flour, just a broken rice texture will be perfect for the payasam. Now let's cook the rice in a heavy bottom pan. Add about 1 cup of water and allow it to heat up. Once the water is hot, add in the ground rice mixture. Stir it well and cook the rice on low flame until the grains absorb the water and begin to soften. When it is almost cooked, it's time to add the most important ingredient, which is the milk. For this recipe, I'm adding 1 liter of boiled milk. Pour it in and give it a good mix. Let the rice cook completely in the milk. Keep the flame on medium-low and stir occasionally. Now gradually the milk will begin to thicken and the rice will soften and become creamy. In about 10 minutes you will notice the mixture has thickened beautifully. Now at this stage, turn off the flame and keep the pot aside. Now let's prepare the flavorful additions that make the payasam even more special. In a small tempering pan, add a tablespoon of ghee. Once hot, add around 20 cashew nuts and roast them evenly to a nice golden brown color. Next, add a handful of coconut bits, which is optional but adds a lovely crunch and flavor. Post your comments and let me know what kind of sweets or special snacks you make for special festivals or pujas at home. Finally, add the raisins and let them plump up nicely. Once done, transfer everything to a small bowl and keep this aside. In the same pan, let's prepare the jaggery syrup. Add about 120 grams of jaggery along with half cup of water. Stir and allow the jaggery to dissolve completely and boil for a few minutes. If you like it a little sweeter, feel free to add a little extra jaggery. Once the syrup is ready, strain it to remove any impurities and add it directly to the cooked rice and milk mixture. The moment you add the jaggery syrup, you will notice a beautiful transformation. The payasam turns into a lovely rich caramel color. Now stir well and let the jaggery blend into the rice mixture for about 5 minutes. Finally, add half teaspoon of cardamom powder along with the roasted cashew nuts, coconut bits and raisins. Mix it all together and your creamy, delicious rice payasam is ready. Since this is a rice payasam, it tends to thicken as it cools down. So if you prefer a lighter consistency, simply add some more boiled milk before serving. You can serve this payasam either warm or chilled. Both ways it tastes absolutely divine. It's a perfect dish to prepare for festivals, special pujas or even when you have guests at home. This traditional rice payasam is truly different from the regular vermicelli or sago versions and it's sure to win everyone's hearts. For the millet pongal, I've taken half cup of foxtail millet, that is Thinai, and half cup of yellow moong dal. Wash it gently and pour enough water and soak for about 1 hour. Take a pressure cooker, transfer the soaked millet and dal to the pressure cooker along with the soaked water. So you can see the millet and the dal has already been soaking in about 1 cup of water. Now that's a 250 ml cup. I'm adding another 250 ml cup of water. To this add a pinch of turmeric powder, add 1 teaspoon of salt, give it a quick mix. So you can see the dal and the millet is completely immersed in the water. Cook the pongal for 3 whistles on medium-low flame. For the coconut chutney, take half cup of freshly grated coconut, 2 tablespoons of roasted chana dal, add 1 green chilli, add a little salt, pour a little water. The coconut chutney is done, keep it aside. So the pongal is cooked beautifully, you can see it's nice and soft. Next I'm going to temper a few ingredients for the pongal. So for tempering I've taken 1.5 tablespoons of ghee. To the ghee add half teaspoon cumin seeds, 1 green chilli chopped, a piece of ginger chopped finely, quarter teaspoon asparagus powder, add a few cashew nuts, add 1 teaspoon of whole peppercorns, add a few curry leaves, add the tempered ingredients to the pongal. A small tip, in case the pongal becomes too thick, you can always add a little hot water or hot milk to get the right consistency. Do try all the recipes and enjoy and celebrate with your family and friends.